Hi, I'm Casey Scanlon, owner, president, chocolatier, and even janitor of Bonne Bouche Fine Chocolates. People in the South here call me Bonne Bouche, but I chose a French name, Bonne Bouche, for my chocolate company because I use high-quality French and Belgian chocolate. In fact, if you've ever heard of an amuse-bouche, that's a savory bite that's served at the beginning of a meal. Well, a bonne bouche is exactly the opposite. It's a sweet bite served at the end of a meal. And my chocolates are sweet little wonderful bites of chocolate. It all started when I was 14 years old. I was a babysitter, and one of the mothers of the kids that I babysat for gave me some homemade chocolates for Christmas, and I was like, what? You can make your own chocolates? A light bulb went off, and I promised myself someday I'm gonna make my own chocolates. I was 14 then, and then 20 years later, I'm 34 years old. I'm a glass artist for a living, and I did not have enough money to be as generous as I wanted to at Christmas time. And I thought, hey, this is the year I'll make chocolates. So I went to the library and I got 8 books out on how to make chocolate. And I quickly realized I don't want to do bean to bar. I don't want to make actual chocolate. I wanted to make chocolates. So the main book I used was a recipe book that taught me how to temper chocolate. I learned how to do that by hand, and I wasn't always successful. A lot of newbie chocolatiers aren't. And I made 4 things: a raspberry truffle, an orange truffle, pecan turtles, and almond toffee, because that's what I knew my family loved. And it was really wonderful because all my friends said, oh my God, can I buy some of your toffee from my grandmother? Your toffee is awesome. And I was like, no, that's just Christmas presents. And every year after that, I would make gifts for Christmas presents. I have a friend who owns the Drippolator in Black Mountain. She asked me if she could carry my chocolates in her shop, her coffee shop. I'm like, I'm not a professional. But she said, I don't care, they're so good. So I made truffles for coffee shops here and there, but I continued to do my stained glass art all up and down the East Coast. And then I moved out west, and oh my God, the price of glass kept going up, and I thought I have to do something different. And every time I was at a craft show and I would see someone selling chocolate, they would have lines. And I thought, yeah, maybe now I should start making chocolate. I'll start a chocolate company. So I actually took a course from École Chocolat, and I became a certified chocolatier. And the cool thing is, I graduated with honors. And they said when I started the course, don't expect to get top grades, only the professionals get top grades. I originally started making chocolate in 1994. I took this course in 2006. So in that period of time, every Christmas making chocolates, I seem to have turned myself into a professional because I got top grades and I graduated with honors. I actually was in Paris, France for one segment of this class, and I turned my homework in via the internet, and that was the class I got the highest grade in. So I was making my chocolates out in Oregon, doing dog shows and craft shows, and then my life had a dramatic change in Oregon, and I came back to North Carolina, where I spent a lot of happy years, and I moved to Tryon with the help of my realtor, Paula Marzella from 828 Realty. And she kept telling me, you need to try to sell your chocolates at the Equestrian Center. And I was like, no, that's weird. And she said, well, you did dog shows. And actually, dog shows were a perfect place to sell chocolate, because when you win, you want to celebrate with chocolate. When you lose, you want to commiserate with chocolate. When you're tired from running around the rings, you need to energize with chocolate. And actually, you need gifts for your friends at home who are watching your pets that didn't come to the show. So I started thinking about what Paula said, and I said, well, horse shows would be a lot like dog shows. When you win, you want to celebrate. When you lose, you want to commiserate. So I actually researched having a booth. First, I just thought I'll have a tent at the Equestrian Center. But when they saw that chocolate applied for a tent, they called me and said, we'd like you to consider a cabin. And I'm like, that's a lot of investment. I wasn't sure I wanted to do that. But the minute they told me that I could make my chocolate in the same place I sold it, I thought, okay, I'll give that a shot. Because I used to rent church kitchens and then make chocolate and haul all my stuff to craft shows, but it would be a dream to make it at the same place I sell it. So I gave it a shot, and it was miraculous almost how wonderfully successful it became right off the bat. I started out in the back half of this cabin, cabin 8. I was cabin 8A. And it was a teeny tiny little 8 by 12 kitchen and 14 by 19 space. And I quickly ran out of room. I needed to have more surface area to put chocolates. And this cabin that was out front, the people who were here vacated a couple times. I was like, well, maybe. What's wonderful is I ask people, what brings you to the Equestrian Center? And they say, your chocolate. Our friends got some, and we just had to have some. We Googled you. And one day, when I asked someone, what brings you to the Equestrian Center? The CEO of the place was in my shop, and she heard these people say, we came here just for the chocolate. So I knew, maybe they'll give me a break if I take the whole cabin. Because truthfully, I am the one vendor that is here all year round. And this is a front and center cabin right by the Grand Prix ring. And it's really good for the Equestrian Center to have someone who's open all the time. And we get business even in the off season. And I try to cater to the locals. I have a special policy. If you bring your blue bag back, you get a 10% discount. And I give a blue bag to everyone who spends over $20. I chose the Bluebird of Happiness for my logo because my mission statement is to spread happiness one chocolate at a time. All I ever wanted to do was make people happy, and making chocolate makes me happy, and chocolate makes people happy. So if you come into my shop, you will see bluebirds everywhere wearing the chef's hat like me. I named my bluebird Bonne Bouche, which is another name for candy. And Bonne Bouche is hiding in my shop 10 times. So if the kids come in and they find 10 bonbons, I give them a little sticker of my bluebird. I make all kinds of treats here, predominantly truffles, which is a nice dense ball of chocolate cream filled with flavors. Some are plain, but mostly flavors and nuts and rolled in yummies and decorated. I make chocolates, which are basically a shell filled with sugar creams or jams or jellies, or little softer chocolate creams and caramels. I make all kinds of bagged treats, which is caramels and chocolate bars and clusters, nut clusters, and also barks. We have a whole region of barks. In fact, it's funny, when I did dog shows, my slogan was, our bark is worth a good bite.
I love that.
And I also carry a line of gummies and panned goods that I don't make, but I did vet them. They're the best in the world. As a part of spreading happiness, we don't want it to just be to people. We want it to be for the doggies too. And the horse people love dogs, and we love dogs. So we have this Wigglebutt truffle that benefits the Foothills Humane Society, where my cat came from. And my doggie is her benefit. It's a dog truffle that's made with coconut, banana, and peanut butter. And the funny thing is, sometimes women buy these chocolates, put them in the bag, and they bring the bag home, and the husbands eat them. And they say, what was that? That was kind of crumbly. The dogs love it, but the humans not so much.
And you've made a lot of money, right?
We've raised $1,600 and $1,630 so far for the Humane Society. And during the busy season, we're taking them a check every 2 weeks. So if you just have a hankering for some chocolate or just want a happy chocolate experience, maybe even a joke, we tell jokes here. Stop by any day. We're open 7 days a week. You'll either find me here or my helpers Marcy or Josie. I'm Casey Scanlon from Bonne Bouche Fine Chocolates.